Hold on. I like to screw you and you like to chop me up. Yeah. I like to screw you and you like to chop me up. Yeah. You're not alone, you're alone. Start off and round in my line. Then we went home to the line. You're talking more, turn me on. If this is too soon, cross the line. You're like design, no love sublime. No boundaries in this heart of mine. Heart of mine. Let's get it. So don't break it. Take it slow. Don't hate me. Love me and know I love you. Yeah, I love you. This is a copy, no you never taught me. If it ain't no sloppy, I wanna do you and no one can stop me. I like to screw you and you like to chop me. You look like Cupid and baby you shot me. I'm feeling lucid but I am not dreaming. I was so stupid, forever leaving. You got my heart baby, trust and believe me. So don't break it, take it slow. Don't hate me.
Peace. Grand Rising. Happy New Year. We are turning the dial once more into another year. How quick did this year really pass us by, and now we're dealing with 2019, and are we really prepared for what's actually happening spiritually and all of that type of thing? But I am the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com, representing patreon.com/hoodmystic. I would post the moon sign readings today, but I ain't gonna be on it today. And if I post it today, it'll stack up and it'll get, I have to catch up, and that's really hard. So what I am gonna do is post it tomorrow after I get off the live, and then from there, when the readings come, I can hit them because I don't have much to do tomorrow. But I'm not gonna do it today, doing it tomorrow. So peace to all the Patreon subscribers, all the people who support me on Patreon. If you're interested in supporting this channel and this content, the best way to do it is patreon.com/hoodmystic. Once again, thank you. So yeah, today, I don't know why that's still up there. Damn bird box. But anyway, let me see. I can cover that. How's everybody doing? Bird boxing. Limitless. And so the idea that we're working with is the idea of limitlessness, and the idea of identifying where your limits are, or your perceived limits, and challenging them. So throughout this conversation is going to be challenging a lot of ideas, a lot of established ideas and things of that nature. And it's just something that I'm studying when I'm studying the astrology, and I don't want to act like I'm trying to put pressure on people to do this or do that. Generally, this is always a conversation that I can only really have with myself, because there's too many people to just sit here and pinpoint each and everything that we possibly could do or possibly could talk about. So therefore, I generally keep the conversation basic, and in doing that, I have to challenge myself. I have to see how far I can push my spirit or my soul to full complete realization, and complete transformation. Like, where would this thing lead me? I have no idea. But that's why we're here to figure this thing out. So, give me one moment. Try to cover this up. So yeah, today we're talking about two planets in specific, and they're trying to each other. We're talking about Venus and Mars, brother and sister planet that kind of work well together when they're in different aspects, whether it's squares, oppositions. Today we're talking about a trine, and a trine is an inherent ability that is present or latent within the astrology. Generally, if you have a trine in your chart, depending on the aspects surrounding it, that means that you have an ability that is very natural, very inherent, very gifted, and you succeed in any area related to that particular trine. But if you're not bringing it out of you, if it's not able to come to surface based upon the fact that you got a job, based upon the fact that people gonna be looking at you like, you better not do that crazy shit, or ain't nobody got time to be working on your music career or writing those songs. Come up here and watch this damn bird box with me. You know what I'm saying? And let's develop this bird brain that society wants us to have. And so, you know, when you speak about latent abilities and creative expression, it speaks to a particular trine. And even more so, dealing with Mars and Pisces, that is even speaking to latent abilities within itself. Therefore, you can kind of suggest that it's a kind of a level of doubling down. And with Chiron and Pisces conjuncting Mars, there's a particular idea that we got to really work with, that we really can't play with. And all I see is people playing with the idea. All I see is people, you know, running towards humanity as if it has some value, or running towards the physical world as if it has some value, meaning that it probably won't be as many people on this live this morning because everybody felt the need to get fucked up last night, or, you know, do a whole bunch of extra shit, which if you was to examine a person like, why the hell did you do that? It's like, I don't know, somebody asked me out or whatever the case may be. And so it's like literally mindless behavior. And so the reality is, do you know how dangerous that is? To be living mindlessly, or to be pulled in directions that you probably don't even really want to go or do. You know, you have a whole idea of what your life path should be, but you give it up to your parents, to your friends, to your family, to your children, to your partner. Obviously, excuse me, I need to take a drink of coffee. Hold on. Obviously, they know more about what's the best thing for your life than you. You don't need to study that shit. You need to come to this club with me on New Year's Eve and party and dance to the same shit that we've been dancing to. Yeah, you right. This consciousness shit, this shit ain't really doing shit for me anyways. And then you deal with the idea of halfway doing shit, which is more painful than not doing shit at all. So therefore, when you kind of embrace the fact that you're a caterpillar and you go into the cocoon and you're not fully reaching the butterfly level, but you literally are in a fucking cocoon, like, you know you're going to transform, but then a person be like, hey, they throwing a caterpillar party tonight, you want to come? And you like, damn, And then you forget all about the fact that you've been metamorphosizing into this butterfly. And that's just something to be very, very mindful of. Because I'm not here for play. I'm not here in vain. I'm not here to get my followers up, to build my subscribers up so people can know me. You know, none of that shit. This channel really literally cannot go viral because that will water down my message. I literally have to keep it at a certain level and deal with people on a one-on-one basis. Cause ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be addressing 10,000 people about what the fuck that they need to do spiritually to ascend. That's overwhelming. And I don't even want that clout. I don't want that fame. I don't want that attention. I'm simply here because a seed can become a tree. I'm simply here to enlighten you to your latent abilities, let you know that you are God, let you know that the mere fact that you are God doesn't exist in the realm of, you know, yeah, hood mystic, right, I am God, and then let me go to bed. No. We have to deal with a particular formula. And I don't know if you guys are taking notes today, but I have 6 words in particular order that I want to kind of speak to when we discuss this Mars and Pisces energy. And as we see, Mars is just at the head of Pisces, meaning that it has a long traversion through Pisces. And so this understanding can go a long way. Concentration, meditation, contemplation, realization, application, utilization. Concentration on the soul. Meditation on the soul. Concentration, meditation, 2 different things, but they work well together. And then once you deal with a particular level of clarity, you can contemplate on that. Meaning you don't care what's happening on, I was going to say 106 in Park, but I want to say the Breakfast Club. You don't care what's happening on the Breakfast Club because you have a whole slew of dreams, meditations to contemplate. And throughout that contemplation, if you take it seriously and you bring it to surface, that creates a realization. And throughout this realization, all of this is wonderful. And you've worked very hard to reach this level. But it does not mean shit if you can't apply it and utilize it in your daily life. If it doesn't help you, then you're a crazy person. Okay, if it does not help you, then you might end up in the psych world, cause it'd be like, oh yeah, Oshun, yeah, but you asking me for $20, you know, you look real crazy when you know everything and you having the deepest dreams and you like, you know, don't even got 5 on the sack. You don't even got 5 on it. You don't got nothing on it. So therefore, you know, go back to the drawing board and figure out how to make this energy apply and use it in your daily life, because you're not really using it. You're not really applying it. And therefore, and this is deep too, especially if you have done the work and you've been doing everything when it comes to concentration and meditation, contemplation, which leads to a realization. To get to that point takes a lot of work and a lot of doing things and getting nothing in return. But even when you get to the full sublime realization of goddamn whatever deity standing you right in the face, blowing you kisses, hugging you, you know what I'm saying, giving you a tug job, like, it does not matter if you cannot apply it and utilize it into your life. So Mars being a planet of action, being in this particular point in Pisces where it's really at the level of, you know, realization, and the idea that we want to kind of work with is concrete or stone. This actually presents when you have this level of fire and this level of water. You kind of think of it as like deep under the water, where they have like the stone figures of ancient times and things of that nature, like all of that treasure hunting type of deal. Like, this is what Mars and Pisces really represents, like finding your treasure, creating your treasure, focusing on your treasure and making this thing be about you. Like, and there's nothing that nobody can do to stop you once you take your energy seriously. That's why the whole planet is literally set up for you to take everything else seriously but your living soul. So that's why it's very important for this channel and the things that I'm doing to really, I guess, not spread, but for you to understand it. So it's important that you take these notes, and I'm actually, for the year of 2019, taking digital notes. So they will be available for people who are interested. Be sure to email me at hoodmystic@gmail.com. Maybe I could start something or create some type of group where I just upload these notes, because it's not, it's really about you understanding this energy and having something to kind of read and study and be able to look up for yourself and things of that nature, so you can fully understand it. But all of this energy is just one side of the trine. The second side of the trine is very, very tricky, very, very, where people get kind of like, oh, I'm kind of confused about this, or Mars is in 12 sign Aries, but literally if you were to look up in the sky, Mars is in Pisces. So therefore the transition that we're dealing with is actual astrology and dealing with where planets are actually at. And so that's going to be a difficult conversation if you're not willing to change or not willing to look at where the energy actually is. 12 sign astrology is good to help us learn astrology, based upon the fact we grew up in high school. We did 12 grades of grade school and things of that nature, and it's easy to understand. But if you're really gonna apply astrology and work with astrology, you gotta literally deal with where the planets are in their actual sign, or else you're gonna be a little off. So therefore this year we're not gonna be a little off, we're gonna be completely accurate with our observation and the things that we're talking about. It really does not serve us moving forward to talk about 12 sign astrology other than the fact of learning. And so that's kind of where I've been led to kind of speak. So just the same way as I'm talking about Venus and Libra, where actually in 12 sign astrology, Venus is in Scorpio. 12 sign astrology and real astrology work together if you study the decans and if you study the Sabian symbol. There within that is the truth in the astrology of 12 sign astrology, but it's easier to just look up at the sky and kind of put one with the other and then do your study based upon that. So Venus and Libra, and what I'm going to try to do on this channel is just deeply explain what these transits mean, and hopefully it can make more sense into your real life. Like, well, that does make kind of sense, because I'm actually feeling like some energy is within me, or I've done the work and I've had the visions, but now what do I have to do? It's a level of application and utilization. And so Mars in Pisces conjunct Chiron in Pisces, we've discussed this a lot, but I'm gonna just double down on it real quick. The idea of having more than enough, and really understanding that the idea of having more than enough can literally go both ways. You could have more drama than you need in your life. You can have more stress than you need in your life. You can have more money than you need in your life, more love than you need in your life. But abundance works two ways. Abundance really works based upon what you truly want. And what we want, we may think that we want something, but you actually get up and do the things that you want every day outside of the shit that's in your mind of what you want. Like going to the store or going to the grocery store. Like, you wanted to go to the grocery store, you went to the grocery store, but starting a business, that was kind of hard, but you wanted both of those things simultaneously. It's just easier to go to the store. It's just easier to deal with that same person every day, or whatever the case may be. So it's very a call to really be mindful and really be mindful towards healing based upon Chiron being in Pisces, kind of being at the head of this type of energy. It's literally posted at the head of Pisces and kind of leading us to what to either what we don't want or what we want. And it's very interesting where people are really focused and locked into what they don't want moving into this future type energy. So the last planet that I want to talk about, because I've been kind of 20 minutes already, Venus and Libra. And I said I want to make this video like 10 minutes. I don't even know where the time went. Venus and Libra, very interesting. The other side of this trine, Venus and Libra representing sexual desire and aggression and instinctual urges. But it's one of two things. It's teaching you about that and how to raise that energy, as opposed to just sitting on that energy or acting on that energy. Venus and Libra, you can turn your sexual desires and transmute those into a beautiful relationship. You know, how many relationships have we ruined by being sexual too soon? But it's probably with people that we really probably vibe with, or maybe not. But ultimately, the aggression that we have, or where is that coming from, or the instincts of the things that we're doing, the situations that we find ourselves in, all representing Venus and Libra. And if you find yourself in that space, it's not so you can just constantly be in that space. It's trying to raise you up a level, trying to raise that energy up. And so in the descriptions, I do have a video kind of somewhat speaking to this, even though it's such a vast topic. Sexual energy explained, if you want to look in the description box. But ultimately, we can look at situations in our lives and really change them. Energy where we're triggered and it causes us to be aggressive, and we don't want to be aggressive. Like, we don't want to be aggressive, but you triggered me, and we put all of the energy on the person that triggered us and not on why are we triggered. And therefore, you have to come to terms with this energy, or you don't have to come to terms with it. It's up to you. But this energy is actually allowing you to look at it and change it and see the causes, and really understand that, you know, Mars and Pisces, right? The other side of this trine, which is the spiritual, you know, realization. This all comes to a head if we can fully understand that, you know, sexual energy is powerful. Aggression is powerful. Instincts, they are very powerful. But when you raise them up and raise them to the, you know, heart chakra and to the third eye, you know, then your law of attraction becomes powerful. And I can only be a witness to what I'm actually saying. I can only speak in like real terms. So taking your energy seriously, corresponding with particular energies is really seriously make or break in 2019, because spiritual realities and spiritual action is null and void. I mean, I'm sorry, spirituality and spiritual visions and talking about spiritual shit, that don't really matter if a person is not ready to act in spirit. And so over the past week or so, I've been dealing with a lot of feminine energy, like feminine energy that I've never really dealt before, different goddesses that I never felt before. And I promise to y'all that I'm not on the internet looking like the latest and greatest, hottest goddess. Like, I'm not doing that. They really coming to me with a particular message, and then hopefully you can begin to deal with these energies and understand these energies. Tara is an energy that showed up, and her idea, or the energy that she was bringing forth, is the idea of limitless. And you know, the place that I work at is a corporation, And the corporation is they have, it's like a conglomerate. They have a lot of different businesses, but all of the businesses that they own is a women's clothing companies. And so they got a whole list of women's clothing companies, and I just do computer analysts and things of that nature. But the interesting thing is that I always seen this magazine called Limitless, and you know, it was like this women's magazine, and I would just always pick it up, and I would just always just like flip through it, like if I had, like if I was on a break or something. It's out in a little lounge area or whatever. So I'm just sitting there thinking about the idea of, you know, limitlessness. And this has nothing to do with Terra, but but what I'm trying to say is that when the channel came of, okay, this is how I got into studying Terra. I was like, just I was in the bathroom at my job, and I was just, you know, doing my thing, and I just heard this song on the radio called Bodhisattva. It was by Steely Dan. And I was like, hell no. Like, ain't no way they about to be playing no Steely Dan in the goddamn bathroom at my job. Like I'm a real big Steely Dan fan, and I never even heard this song. That they even got this song called Bodhisattva. So the song called Bodhisattva, I go straight to my desk and hop on Spotify and, you know, type Bodhisattva up or whatever, and then it's this song by Steely Dan, but I just listened to the whole CD called Welcome to Ecstasy. And I'm just Googling stuff about the Bodhisattva and whatever the case may be. And I find this picture of white Terra. But when I'm at work, my screen ain't regular. My screen is inverted. Like, so everything that's white on my screen is black and vice versa. So every color that I see on my screen throughout the day is inverted. I just do that to kind of like, you know, piss the people off at my job. Like, it's kind of like a revolutionary act. Like I'm working here, but it's like under protest. So I got a black screen, like my screen, like I got 3 screens and they just black as fuck. I don't know. It's just weird. So, anyways, that's besides the point. Anyways, I was looking up Bodhisattva and different pictures and different things like that. And I came across white Terra, but she was black. And it really struck a chord with me. Like, cause the way my screen is, it's inverted. But even though white Terra is white Terra, she was black Terra to me. And that's how I perceived it. And it just really stuck a chord with me. So I just started studying Terra. Like, what is Terra? Because I've heard about Terra before. Like, I've heard the name in passing, but I've never really studied it. And then lo and behold, you know, like the thing just keeps going on where these mother goddesses, where like if you do your knowledge on Terra, like she predates Shiva. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought Shiva was the end all be all in Hinduism. Here we go. You know, Terra is this ancient energy, you know, that exists. And, you know, and the reason why it corresponded with me is because I was reading, and then it's like, I read something that said, she is wisdom in action, which speaks directly to Mars and Pisces, where Pisces is wisdom and feminine energy, but Mars is there, so it's giving it that action. So to me, that's alignment, and that's speaking to a particular energy that's available and ready for rising to the surface. And I'm gonna do my knowledge. I'm gonna do my due diligence. I'm gonna, you know, do my research, and I'm gonna try to really understand. And, you know, titling this video Limitless, and the idea and the card that we're gonna really work with in 2019 is really a switch for me. This is actually an angel oracle card, green Terra. There's also the white Terra, but the green Terra specifically speaks to protection, cords being cut, and moving beyond limitation and trust. And I promise that's all that I'm really focused on moving towards 2019. Everything that I've really been speaking to is really encapsulated with this particular energy. So I'm grateful and I'm fortunate to be able to receive the channel that brings me this level of protection, that brings me this level of separation, that brings me to moving beyond my limitation, because I fully understand it in a certain level of what I need to do to move forward. And so the information that I'm bringing forth to the souls is extremely vital, and it may not be for everybody. So of course, I would like you to share, but a lot of people ain't gonna feel me the way that you feel me because they don't have a soul. And you think you trying to save them, and you literally need to focus on saving yourself. So with that being said, I'm going to to close this presentation out, and hopefully you're able to take notes. Like I said, if you're interested in the long form notes that I wrote, well, actually typed, because we're doing the digital notes moving into 2019, hit me up on the email. I'll set you up on a list, and I'll just shoot these notes out daily. So it's not a mere fact of I listen to the Hood Mystic and da 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 da. I really don't care about passive viewers and things of that nature. I'm very much focused on people who are focused on raising their soul and bringing their soul consciousness into their awakened consciousness and really transforming the planet, because this is what we're called to do. You are a sentient spiritual being, and you are living in a limited perception, and my goal is to free you from that limited perception and get out of that idea. Now, I cannot do that shit for you. All I can do is present information to you daily that speaks to your divinity and speaks to your sovereignty. And so what it may seem like is this channel is that I'm motivating you to have a good day, when I could care less. I only want you to be divine. I only want you to be God. I don't want you to be trapped in a limited viewpoint of a human being, because you're so much more than that. You're actually limitless. So when you ask me, what should I do? Where should I go? What should I do about my baby mama? What should I do about my baby daddy? I really need you to know that you are limitless, and I cannot answer that question for you. And so, peace to all the souls, and 2019 we take over and we rise. So be prepared. Peace.